What up? Welcome to our travel panel. I am the almighty moderator today. I'm Kaylee. I'm a student in Madrid, Spain, but I'm from the US. And now let's start with Hung.
Hey everybody, my name is Hung. I am in Fairbanks, Alaska at the moment, staying in a luxurious yurt. And my body is confused because it's always sunny all the time.
Hi guys, I'm joining you today from Sofia, Bulgaria. And as you can see, I have many notes behind me because I like learning languages. So I have notes in different languages: Chinese, French, Spanish, English, and Bulgarian also.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm Maggie. What am I supposed to say? I just got back from South America. Right now, I'm just outside of Miami, Florida, and I'm heading home to the Pacific Northwest in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so my first question is, if you knew someone, or maybe you do, that was not a traveler, did not travel for a living, has not had experience with traveling, where's the first place you would send them in order to get them inspired about a traveling lifestyle? We'll start with Maggie.
Oh no. I can tell you what my first place that I went to. This is kind of funny. So I grew up in the military and my family moved around a lot. So I even lived in England for 3 years. But as an adult, I'm 30 now and I'd never been outside the country by myself. So I was terrified. I don't know why. So I went to Canada as my first experience because I'm obviously American. And Canada scared the crap out of me. I was so nervous. I don't know why. But I would imagine somebody that doesn't travel would probably be as scared as me. So Canada is a good, calm introduction. It's like America, but kind of like Twilight Zone America because it's just just enough different. So I was like, this money is weird and I don't know. There's weird stuff, but it's close enough to America and they speak English. I did eventually go to Quebec, and so I had to deal with the French thing. But if you go to the English-speaking part of Canada, you can kind of get your feet wet, deal with currency conversions, kind of stuff. Plus, they're really nice, and they will help you out, and they only criticize Americans 30% of conversations, so you'll be all right.
You know what's funny is I actually hear, if someone asks me where I'm from, depending on who it is, I'll tell them I'm from Canada. Because if you say you're from the United States, they're like, oh. But if you're like, oh, I'm Canadian, they're like, hey. I'll be like, yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little more extreme in that. I think for a person who doesn't travel, you gotta really throw them into something really crazy, cultural experience. And actually for me that was Thailand. I was super nervous, didn't know what was going on. Thailand turned out to be a really cool experience. The people were actually really nice, the food was really good, the attractions were really awesome. For someone who doesn't travel, I think you got to go with somebody else to make the experience a little bit less confusing and scary.
Right. Well, I would first send him or her my blog because I write awesome articles, obviously, so they will be excited about it. And I will probably, probably it will be some guy from America, from Canada or Europe, because I have most of my friends are from there. So I'll probably send them to Asia and specifically to China, because everything in China is so different from America and from Europe. And I went there. The first time I went there, I was with a friend, and a Chinese girl showed us around. I met her in Europe, so it was really nice. They were so friendly. She was so friendly. She showed us very nice spots which were off the busy flat, so we saved some money as well. And yeah, I was in the capital of Beijing, and everything was so enormous. I was walking, I could only feel everything, the energy was so much different than any other. So I got excited and went to China again at first. So I think they will either love it or hate it. They won't be left with no feelings.
Oh, I get to assign points? I forgot. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay. All right, so Maggie will give you 350 points. Yeah, that's how we do it here. 350 because Canada's really great, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I think Playing It Safe is pretty cool. Hung, we're gonna give you 417 because I like the enthusiasm. Yes. And it is good to jump right in, and I've never been to Thailand, and it's like number 2 on my list right now. And Svet will give you 418 because you had a shameless plug for your blog, and I really like that.
Yeah,
that should be what?
I knew
that should be the opposite of that.
I mean, I could have given you 416, but you know, okay. But I do like your blog, so. Okay, so my next question would be: so everybody wants to remember the trips that they go on, obviously. And my question would be if A, you have any creative ways that you like to remember the places that you've been, or B, if you don't feel like it's particularly creative, just what's your favorite way to keep the memories that you've made in the places you go? So Hung, we'll start with you for this round.
So I, too bad I'm not home right now so I can show you, but I have in my bedroom like a giant wall that's opposite the bed where I put all of my trips, my little flight tickets, maybe a little souvenir I got from certain places, or not even souvenir, just random like little pamphlets from places I've been. Like if we went to a museum and they give you a little ticket, I pin all of those things on my wall, so I have this giant wall that looks,
That's
I mean,
so
if
cute.
people didn't know, it would look like I'm some kind of serial killer. But it's my travel wall. It's a shrine of travel things.
All right. So when I travel, my favorite thing is meeting people, both local people, and also other travelers. And I was couchsurfing host for about 2 years before I started officially traveling. And one of my couchsurfing guests bought me a book. I had wanted a guest book for a long time, but they're always like wedding guest books when I went to buy one. So they bought me a travel journal to use as a guest book, and so it's got like a world map on the outside. It's really cool. So they were the first ones that signed it, and I started having all my couchsurfers sign it. And then when I left, I decided to bring it with me, and I've had all my couchsurfing hosts sign it, people in hostels, and just like in general, it's become like my completely most prized possession. And people will write like long stories in the book of like, remember when we did this and that, and so I can read back through and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And if they speak other languages, I usually get them to write like Spanish or French or whatever or Italian in their own language.
Maggie got me thinking that when we were little kids in high school or even in preliminary school, we had this kind of a book or something that you have like 20 or 30 questions, and you ask people about their names, what colors do they like, etc., etc., etc. Some kind of questions. So I also have it now in like an adult version, but it's only in Bulgarian. So I was thinking for quite a bit of some time to like translate it or make some questions in English and send it to people. But maybe a better idea is to bring it along with me during my trips and ask people that I like, locals or some people that I meet, and then they just sign it. It will be on paper. It will be in like some very nice color, like green or pink or something. So it will be nice, and I will have all these memories on paper, which will be very, very cool, I think.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Maggie, thanks for the idea. I think I'm gonna do it.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Can I add one more thing? This is not related to my question, but I want to give a shout out in case viewers want to try this too. This one girl that I met asks everybody for a song that like represents them or their trip or whatever, and then she makes a playlist out of it, which is also, I think, really cool.
Sweet.
Oh, that's
an awesome idea.
Wow, okay.
I was gonna say, do you all also associate certain kind of smells with a place, because I always do that. I think this reminds me of China. This reminds me of Barcelona. This reminds me of some other place. It's very, very weird. It's just something in your head. Is it just me, or you also have encountered it?
No, I agree.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of most of the smells in South America. So.
One of my friends, everywhere that she goes, she has a song or like an album or a playlist for like the trip that she takes, and then she says she listens to it so much that when you come back, whenever you hear those songs, you think of the place you went. I think that's pretty cool. It's
awesome.
pretty easy too.
Yeah.
Maggie, I'm giving you 940 because it's pretty awesome that you're a couch surfing host, and I like the whole guest book thing. That's pretty cute. Hung, you get 870 because you might be a serial killer and we're not sure. But I did like the whole wall thing. And Svet, you get 854 because you kind of stole Maggie's idea. Just kidding. I really liked yours.
Maggie inspires Svet. That's pretty cool.
There.
Good job.
Oh, I'm not the killer. Hung is the serial killer. Now we have to
Yeah.
a nickname.
Yeah, there you go. You
No,
need a crime.
that's not a good nickname.
Are you really in Alaska on, like, are you on the lam? Is that really why you're there? Or...
Oh.
Ooh.
This would be
Are
a
you
great
even in
way to
Alaska?
hide and run away if you really were doing that, yeah.
Okay. Next question. Okay, so I know a lot of people like to travel alone, as do I. But sometimes we have to travel with others, or we may like to. So, in your opinion, what is the most crucial trait in a travel companion that would be most compatible to your way of traveling? So, who do we start with? I think it's Svet, maybe, but I don't know. Whichever one.
Yeah, maybe I can start. Well, I love food, so I hope the person I'm traveling with will also like to explore the exotic, exuberant, and shocking foods that we're going to delve into detail, because I really like eating very, very weird things. So if that's not the idea in my travel companion's head, then we will have a challenge, I would say. I don't know, to do some crazy things like jump, do push-ups and other things. So the other person, if he or she's up to doing something like that, or just dancing on the street with many people watching, in this way we can also earn some money. So food and dancing or doing crazy things is a perfect companion for me.
I feel like a horrible person answering this question. I really hate traveling with people. Like, I don't think there is a quality that anybody can have that would make me want to travel with you.
That's fair.
I've always traveled with myself. In Peru, I had these friends of mine that I met while we were all volunteering, and we traveled together for like, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe, not even that much. And I loved those girls. They were amazing, but I was just so ready to be done when we got, I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. I just, it's like, oh, we all have to agree on where we're going to go for dinner. And we have to, it's just like, I just want to do what I do. So, horrible person. I get that. It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, the other thing though about traveling by myself is I tend to like talk to random people, and if I'm with my friends, I just kind of get in the habit of talking to them. So then I don't get to meet all the other people. So
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's see. I travel with my fiance exclusively, and so I love traveling with her because she's really easygoing, low maintenance, and flexible. And so those are the qualities that I like if I had additional people that travel with me, because I like to travel with some friends to have that group of people with me to share in thoughts and things like that. But the number one quality is that they have to be flexible and be willing to try new things, right? So some friends that are willing to do that and some friends that aren't willing to do that. So I have a list of people that I'm not going to travel with anymore.
Did you actually write it down, or is it on your wall?
Is it on your wall?
It's on my stalker wall, yes.
Yeah. Okay, good answers. So, Svet, you won the round because you talked about food for an extended amount of time, and I really like food. Okay, so we're gonna give you 1,013 points because 13 is my favorite number.
Oh, that's a weird number to be your favorite number.
Hey, do you want points or do you not want points?
We're in a good way. We're cool. Cool we're.
Good save. Okay, well then for Hung, I shall give you 1,007 points. Because it's pretty cute that you travel with your fiance. That's like a little love story, and that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this point system. Okay, and Maggie, you get 1,009 points. Because I totally agree that traveling alone is really, really nice, and definitely have had struggles with traveling with people, so that's fair. Okay. I don't know what your totals are, so do not ask. So the last actual question before our exciting speed round.
Ooh.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to give away that it was a speed round. It's just a bonus round. Okay, so we've definitely all had ups and downs of traveling. So tell us one of your funny, horrible, or interesting travel mishaps. Because we all have them. Oh, wait, okay. So while you're thinking, I can share for this one. This comes from my friend though. She went to London. I just heard the story today, so I had to share it. She went to London, and her and one of her friends was traveling. They booked a hostel, and so they got to the hostel, and it was like had great reviews and everything. And they got to the hostel, and they were staying in this one room. There was one room at the hostel with four sets of bunk beds, and it turned out that it was the place that like homeless people in London sleep. And it's these two girls that are my age, they're like 20 years old, and went to this hostel, and I guess these people were like asking them for like clothes and like money and food and everything, and they had to sleep in like above the top bed of these bunk beds. And my friend Sarah said that in the middle of the night, one of the guys would like shake the bed and like try to get her to wake up, and she'd wake up and he'd just be like, never mind, and then just go back to sleep. And it happened like 3 times, so they had to go to a hotel for a night. But I thought that was kind of an interesting mishap that inspired this question. So
it's really cute
would
that
you like
you're
to start?
young enough to think that his shaking the bed is really what was going on down there.
I know, it was a good innocent thought, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know if this is a mishap exactly, but it's kind of a funny story. I was in Baños de Agua Santa in Ecuador, which is a little town at the base of a volcano, and it's an active volcano, and I was there for about 3 weeks, and the volcano erupted twice while I was there. But it's in a cloud forest, the town is, so it's like in the mountains, but it's super cloudy, misty, foggy, which is really awesome, but you can't see the volcano because it's a really high volcano. So we were trying to figure out how we could watch it erupt, and so like some other people from my hostel and I decided we were going to hitchhike up this mountain. It's like the volcano's here, and then you go up this other mountain you can look across, like once you're above the clouds. So it's way too far to walk. So we decided we were going to hitchhike. So we grab a couple bottles of rum and we go over to the mountain, and we're like, okay, let's find somebody that's going to drive us up there. Nobody wanted to do it. We talked these guys with a pickup truck into taking us. We were like, we'll pay you whatever you want. Like, we just want to go. So they were like, all right, we'll go. We go up this mountain road. It is completely pitch dark. There's no lights. There's no guardrails. It's steep drop off, and these guys are flying up this road like we're fishtailing, and I'm looking over the side of this like, okay, there's a sheer drop of like 2,000 feet or something. I don't know, we're gonna die. So I was full on hyperventilating. Sorry, we're having a storm. Power just went out. I was hyperventilating and freaking out, and I was thinking, well, at least I'm not gonna die alone. These other 5 strangers from the hostel are gonna die with me. Like, that was my comforting thought. So we get to the top, we see the volcano. It was amazing, like the coolest thing ever. It was just like lava was shooting out and everything. It was awesome. And we went back down, and I told the guy on the way down, like, you have to drive more slowly. You're freaking me out. So I got back to the bottom, and somebody was talking to him. He's like, oh yeah, I've been drinking all day. So I talked a drunk driver into taking me up an unlit mountain road to watch a volcano explode. So it was a thing. Not to freak my mom out or anything, but...
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
All right. Good.
Okay, let's see. I got 2 stories from Hawaii, but I'm gonna choose this one. So my first trip to Hawaii, we went to Honolulu, Waikiki, and you guys remember the Japanese earthquake that happened? Yeah, when was it? 4 or 5 years ago? So we were in Hawaii our first night when the Japanese earthquake occurred, and we were on the beach, and then sirens started blaring, and then police and all these cop cars and fire trucks, everyone. The town was like in a mass panic, right? And so we were all supposed to run or go to a safe, high place. So our hotel, the Hilton at the time, was actually a safe place. So everyone like went there, and we just all stood out in our balcony to see if there was going to be a tsunami that would hit town or hit the city and destroy everything or whatnot. But so we stayed up until the wee hours of the night to try to see what was going on, but nothing happened. So I was actually hoping something crazier would happen. I know that's horrible sounding, but yeah, that was not really a mishap, but a misfortune that we avoided.
I was going with some friends to a environmental project on the Canary Islands, which are the Spanish territory off the coast of Africa. They are deep in the Atlantic Ocean. So we have quite a tight budget, so we had to book some low-cost flights. And with low-cost flights comes trouble. So they postponed one of the flights, so we had to arrive a day earlier or to spend a day in the Italian town of what was the name? Bergamo. It's very close to Milan. So then just like 2 weeks before the flights, they also postponed the other flight, which was in Valencia in Spain. So we had to spend another day in Valencia. But it all turned to be quite nice. I also wrote an article about the Italian town of Bergamo, which was incredibly lush in greenery. It was amazing. I tried like the best pizza there. It was very serene. It had a small old town, which you can see the whole town. We also visited Milan for several hours, but I really loved this small town. And 2 or 2 weeks after I wrote the article and put it on my blog, I was contacted by an Italian guy who said he was a journalist at this town and said, I really love the article, so we have published it in our newspaper.
Nice.
So
That's so
it's
cool.
quite nice.
Okay, back to our fabulous scoring system. Okay, so Hung, you get 18 points, which could have been 20, but you were hoping for a tsunami. So no. Svet, you get we're gonna give you 18 as well because you kind of got the satisfaction of being published, so we don't need to give points for that.
Oh,
Really?
Just second plug.
Yeah, exactly, and it was the second plug, and I promised Hung that I would deduct next time, so I am. Okay, and Maggie, you get 18 points because could have been 20, but you were very dangerous, and that scares me and probably my mother and anybody else watching this. So we have our speed bonus fun round.
Okay.
All of those things. So you do need your piece of paper. That's extra points. You're prepared? Okay.
Oops.
Okay, so you need your piece of paper or your notepad or whatever you have in your yurt. Okay. In the amount of time that it takes me to count up how many points you each have, your challenge is to write down as many places as you can that begin with the first letter of your first name. They can be cities, countries, towns, continents. I don't care. It just has to be a geographical place that starts with the first letter of your first name. Go. Two more people to total up.
Oh man.
I am done. Pencils down.
Pencils down. Typing down.
All right.
Okay. So count up how many you have. And then, okay, so you get 1 point for each one that you wrote down. You get an extra 2 points for each one that you've actually been to.
Oh.
Okay.
And then tell me how many points you have. This is an honor system, and with how our point system has gone so far, I think that that's fair. That's okay.
Okay, so 2 points if we've been there on top of the other points.
Yeah.
Okay. I already got 20 points.
Nice.
What? Wow.
Well, most of mine were states, and I've been to all the states, so.
Strategy.
Very nice.
Well, I didn't know that was going to be the way.
Yeah, true.
Well played.
I guess it's true.
So I've only got 9 points because all these were crazy countries that I've never been to except for one.
Which one?
Croatia, Hrvatska.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, you write it in the Croatian language.
That's right.
I feel
Alright.
like you should get a bonus point.
That's
for
right,
that.
because I wrote it in the Croatian language.
Okay,
Yes!
all right. Bonus point.
1
I
point,
have-
man. Okay.
I have
Fine, 4
12
because I'm a linguistics major.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I have 12 places,
Wow.
and I have only been, and I'm living
Okay.
in Sofia, so that will give me 1 more point, so that's 13 altogether.
Okay, so I didn't know how the scoring was gonna go, but it appears that Svet, you are our winner with 1,495 points.
Wow!
Yeah,
Power.
Is that a
Here's
new
the thing.
record? I think that's a record, right?
I think it is too because before the most we've had is like 20 points.
Hey,
Yeah.
as I'm a winner, can I have a save for next round or the next episode?
Can you-
Since
Ooh, that's
I was the moderator of the last episode, and since Maggie is our guest, I can give the floor to her.
That's fair.
that's
You're the
okay.
new moderator.
All right, cool.
Alright.
How many points did
Thank
we
you.
have? How many points did...
Yeah.
You know, actually, this ended up pretty well. You all were in the 1400s. Oh no.
Mmm.
Okay, there we go. All in the 1400s. Maggie, you came out with 1,437. And Hung, I really tried to help you out, but you came out with 1,421.
Woo!
You're just a hater. Hater!
Yeah. Okay.
Kaylee, I think
So,
you're
yeah.
gonna have a picture on Hung's wall with like darts.
I know, with like darts. I'm on his list in his mind now.
That's right, the ban list. All right, very cool. Hey, thanks you guys for dialing in, and that was a really good discussion.